Hello, hello. Welcome to today's class. I'm going to be talking about anemia and fertility, and this is a topic that I kind of don't go into depth on very often, so I thought it'd be a good idea. I'm going to plug my phone in. A good idea to really go in depth on this topic because it's actually something that's so common that I want to make sure you guys have a resource for it. All right, I'm just going to make sure my phone is plugged in. I should have checked on this before. All right, there we go. All right. So if you've not come to one of my classes before, if you're new, my name is Heather Rodriguez. I'm a natural fertility specialist. So what that means is I'm an herbalist, I'm a nutritionist, and a natural health educator. And I help support women with hormonal health, help support them with fertility support and preparing for healthier pregnancies. Talk a lot about nutrition, herbs, supplementation, self-care therapies, self-empowerment tools you can use to learn more about your body. All right, so let's jump into this topic about anemia and fertility. So I'm going to first talk a little bit about kind of what the studies are and how it really does directly affect fertility. All right, so most of us know that we need to get enough iron. Anemia is a term that is unfortunately very popular, so this isn't like a new word to you, right? This isn't news. But it's actually really important for ovulation. It's very important during the conception time of your life to make sure that you do have enough iron. So here's two different studies. Women who do not get sufficient amounts of iron may suffer from anovulation, so that's where you don't ovulate, and possibly poor egg health, which can inhibit fertility at a rate 60% higher than those with sufficient iron stores in their blood. So this was a study done in 2014 in the International Journal of Current Research. So there's that study. So there's a second study. Data was analyzed by 438 women at the average age of 32 with a history of fertility issues due to not ovulating. This group was studied during an 8-week period or 8-year period. So this is a correlation study. During this time, those who took iron supplements were about 40% more likely to be fertile than the women who do not take iron. And that was from the Obstetrics and Gynecology 2007. So that's really, really interesting. And that's such a simple solution. So what is anemia? So anemia is when the blood is not getting enough iron. There's an insufficient amount of red blood cells, and this can cause the body to not be able to deliver enough oxygen to the body's tissues and organs, including the ovaries and uterus. Same with other areas, but those are the areas that are going to directly affect fertility. And then this deficiency may cause eggs stored in the ovaries to weaken over time and become unavailable. That's so sad. Worse yet, should conception occur, anemia makes it impossible for the growing fetus's cells to divide and grow properly. So this may result in miscarriage in some cases. Probably very early miscarriage would be my guess. All right, so that's anemia. That's why it's affecting fertility in a nutshell. So here's some symptoms of anemia. The ones that are easy to spot are going to be mild to severe fatigue. So if you're just dragging all the time, you just don't have enough energy, and you do have anemia, it's because you're not getting enough oxygen to the different areas of your body for it to function properly. If you're someone who experiences chronic headaches, dizziness, brittle or weak nails, a decrease in appetite, and low blood pressure. So some possible causes of it. So there's a lot of different causes of it. Some of them we can have an effect on, and some of them we honestly can't. So heavy bleeding, if you're someone who has flooding or very heavy periods, lots of clots, that kind of thing, that can be a possible cause of anemia just because you're bleeding so much. Women on low-calorie diets who aren't getting enough nutrients, women who are experiencing gut imbalances. Gut health has a lot to do with absorption and utilization of the iron from your foods. So gut health can have an impact on that. And there are other health conditions that can be happening that can cause anemia. And that's just much bigger than this topic I'm talking about today. You would need to obviously work with your doctor on that. It can be different side effects of different health issues, different diseases. Anemia can be a part of that. So it's good to, if you are experiencing anemia, if you haven't had a checkup lately, it's good to just kind of figure out the reason why, if this is something that's really affecting you. All right, so if you do suspect an iron deficiency or anemia, you can just go in and do a very simple blood test called a CBC, where they're going to check the red blood cells, the hemoglobin levels in your blood. I did recently see that there's online tests that you can do at home that you can order. So if you'd like to do that, you can as well. So what's going to happen after you get your testing done is they're going to say to increase your iron. They're going to probably suggest an iron supplement. So that is a simple way to bring up your iron levels, but I want to talk a little bit more about that. So I think it's really good to add in more iron foods as well as supplementation, especially if your levels are low. Supplementation is going to help to increase your levels much quicker, but you should be also focusing on foods that are going to be high in iron. So there's two different sources of iron-rich foods, non-heme and heme sources. So those are going to be, non-heme are going to be sources that are plant-based, and heme sources are going to be sources that come from blood, so from meats. And I personally, a couple of years ago, actually had anemia. I had my blood testing done. I was trying to figure out why I was so tired all the time, and it was because I had anemia. And at the time, I was vegetarian, and I was really looking at my diet. I was really good and really on top of what I was eating. But what we realized was that I was not absorbing any of the iron from the plant foods. So I don't know if there's a term for it, but I don't personally absorb iron from plant foods. I'm not sure if it's because of my gut or what's going on. I have pretty good digestion. But anyway, so once I started eating meats again, and I was supplementing before I started eating meats, and my numbers weren't going up. So then once I started eating meats, my iron levels became back to normal. I started to feel a whole lot better. So just know that that can happen for some people as well. So even, if you're going through this and you're trying all the things, but you haven't added meat in, maybe you're a vegetarian, might be something to consider if you've tried all the things and it's not working for you, because it is something real for some people that they just don't absorb it. All right, so here's some non-heme sources of iron: beets, spinach, beans, pumpkin seeds, molasses, and asparagus. Oh, shoot. Okay, I'll just finish on this video. My phone just died. Okay, so some non-heme sources are going to be pumpkin seeds, molasses, asparagus. I thought asparagus was really interesting, that was something that was high in iron. Super cool. And then the heme sources, so the animal-based sources, are going to be highest in red meats and organs. So all meats are going to have some sources of iron in them. And also making sure to include some foods for helping with absorption of iron. So you want foods that are high in vitamin C. So that's going to be oranges, strawberries, broccoli, tomatoes, green peppers. Those types of things help to absorb the non-heme sources of iron. So just kind of take that in consideration. I definitely am a proponent of people supplementing with a iron supplement. Now, the thing with iron supplements is that the kind you're using, I think, is really important, because a lot of them can be very constipating. So I like to use food-based iron. The one that I personally used was called Blood Builder. I do think we have a few in the shop. We don't carry a whole lot of those, but Blood Builder is 100% food-based iron. And it's a fantastic one that really my body absorbed well and I did well with. I tolerated it well. So if you do have a formula that's making you constipated, just switch it up. Just try something else to see what's going to be better on your stomach. For some people, it's also very hard on the stomach. Like they get stomach discomforts when they're taking an iron supplement. So food-based iron is awesome. The general suggested amount is about 27 milligrams per day. And then also when you're looking at your iron supplement, make sure there's like B12, folate in it, vitamin C, these different things that really help to absorb the iron and help your body to utilize it. You should also start to feel better, percentage wise, not 100% overnight, but pretty soon, like within a week, you should start, if you're really feeling that grogginess, you should start to feel better and feel it increase, like your vitality over time. So that's going to be one of the great parts of this, is you're going to feel better. This is something that's very substantially a different experience for you health-wise. All right, so that is my talk on anemia and fertility today. And I just want to kind of bring an awareness to that, because I feel it's so common. And if this is the reason that you might not be ovulating, this is a very simple remedy, but you also do want to make sure to get this taken care of before pregnancy as well, because anemia ends up being a factor in pregnancy because of the amount of blood that you're producing is amazing. Towards your third trimester, your blood volume will be at 150% of what it originally was. So I just find that to be absolutely incredible. All right. Let's see, a question. Hey, Faith, eating for your blood type helps determine whether meat best suits you or not. Maybe. Yeah, I don't really, I personally don't go by the whole blood type thing. I tried it for a while and it just did not work for me. But if it works for other people, that's awesome. All right, guys, so if you want more information about natural fertility, if you want to learn more about nutrition, go to naturalfertilityinfo.com. I also have a shop where you can get all my herbs and supplements at naturalfertilityshop.com. Hope you have an awesome day.